We are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everyone that's here, I really do appreciate it. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Another Laker game, another Laker loss. What do you say at this point? Lakers are a sinking ship right now, and it's rough, right? I appreciate the fight a little more in this game, right? Especially in the third quarter. And then D'Lo coming alive in the fourth and stuff. But still, it's just we're a game away now from being back to 500. After a week and a half ago, we win the in-season tournament. We're 5 games or whatever it was over 500, and it's like, all right, here we go. Let's start trekking towards the Larry O'Brien trophy. Let's go win this NBA championship. Let's go, get things in order. And it's been terrible. It's been awful. I've mentioned this before. I wonder if there's a correlation to the in-season tournament, right? Look at the Pacers. The Pacers have only won 1 game, I think, since the in-season tournament, since the finals. Same thing with the Lakers, right? You see it a lot with in all sports where teams win a chip. I know it's not the NBA championship. I get that, but it's still you're putting in this mental toughness, putting in all of these things that go into trying to win that, the energy, the extra effort, all that stuff. I wonder if there's some correlation. It might not be. The Lakers have had these kind of struggles all season, but it's just just point of mention. But it's just, again, we don't have the offense to keep up. This was a game where we were competitive enough to win this in spots. And credit Minnesota. Minnesota's been really good this year, right? Every time we did any type of run or any type of just oh, here we go, Minnesota just got right back into it. We took the lead in the third briefly, and boom, Minnesota took it right back and just kept extending those runs. When LeBron sat and we found out that LeBron was out, that kind of was our sign of okay, the Lakers are losing today, right? That was kind of all right, this is going to be a long game. But again, we're sinking fast, and we gotta figure something out. We got to figure out whatever it is. We got to weather the storm. All right. We definitely need a trade, but there's more to it than that, right? Don't get me wrong. If we trade for Zach LaVine, that I've mentioned it before, that solves 70% of our issues. Still that other 30%, right? And another 20% of that is hustle and energy and effort, right? It's just Lakers are a mess right now. They really are. They're a mess. They're an absolute mess. But anyway, again, just going to go for probably about 30 minutes in the stream like I have the last few days. Getting better by the day. I feel not as tight in the chest today, which is good, but I don't want to push it too much. And then we still have Christmas Day. That'll give me 2 days of rest. And then hopefully maybe we could do a little extended live stream on Christmas, or get back at least to the hour and a half. So I'm going to jump into the stats, and then after we're done breaking down the stats, then we'll dive into all your super chats and all your regular questions and stuff. If you have something pressing, super chats is the way to go. Otherwise, I'll just go in order. Also, one quick little note, real quick. Dodgers signed Yamamoto, or however you say his name, right? Like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about baseball. Know a little bit. I may address it on As It Stands Sports because, it's an LA team and I am a Dodger fan. I just don't have the encyclopedia like I do with the NBA. But that's some good news, right? Dodgers should win, several championships, World Series in the next couple years. Hopefully. We'll see. But what an off season for them. So credit them. I know that's not basketball related. I know that's not Laker related, but still LA related. Still, superstar related. But anyway, let's dive into the box scores here, and then we'll jump into, I don't know why I keep saying jump into your super chat, probably because the Lakers have been a dump these last handful of games. But diving into it, Rui Hachimura, I've talked about this before. Whenever LeBron doesn't play, Rui has a solid game. Free throw wise, he was terrible. I mean, Rui just couldn't make free throws to save his life today, which was frustrating. He was 2 of 6, but outside of the free throw shooting, he was solid. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 7 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, so 40%, which is good. Again, I really want to see Rui go somewhere where he gets an opportunity. If that's Chicago, then great. Because I really like Rui as a player. I just think he's being utilized terribly. Again, there's no reason Rui Hachimura should be taking 5 threes. There just shouldn't be. Rui should not have to take 5 threes a game. If he's taking 2 or 3, that's fine, but that's not his game. I mean, he took almost as many threes as he did field goals. That's not his game. But he still gave us 18 points. And as long as he's on the Lakers with LeBron, he's just not going to get the opportunity. He just isn't. Anthony Davis, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and took care of the basketball. Only had 1 turnover, especially fighting amongst the trees down there. Anthony Davis did his part, right? 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Again, got to make free throws, though. Lakers have just been awful shooting free throws this year, and it's just really frustrating. But nonetheless, he had a solid game. Taurean Prince continues his hot shooting. I love it. If the Lakers can figure out how to be good, Taurean Prince is going to be massive. Or if we get, a proper trade or something, Taurean Prince has been really good, right? I mean, seriously, I really do. I still think, if you do the Zach LaVine trade, I think you got to go Zach LaVine, Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, or if Jared Vanderbilt gets right and gets back into the flow of things, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. I think you'll have more than enough offense, more than enough defense, especially with Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince would get even better looks because, teams got to worry about Zach LaVine if that ends up being a trade that happens. But time will tell. D'Lo turned it around in that fourth. He was atrocious throughout the game. That fourth quarter, he came out huge, came out live, gave you 17 points, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, which is surprising. Was getting it done on the defensive end, 4 rebounds, 2 of 6 from 3, and still finished 7 of 19 from the field, which is not great. But, it was good to see him kind of crawl out of it in the fourth. Maybe that's good come Christmas Day. Maybe he kind of picks up where he left off. I hold my breath, but that's the hope. Austin Reaves, 20 points again, another 20-pointer, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, with 7 of 14 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. I need him a little better than that from 3, but nonetheless, another 20-point game, solid game from him. But yeah, Lakers need to figure it out. Lakers are in a terrible rut. But in the meantime, let's dive into all of your super chats and then your regular questions and all that stuff. So I really appreciate that. Like I said, I'm probably going to go about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll dive in and then I'll get out of here and I'll see you guys all on Christmas. But Andrew, starting us off with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The season is on the line. Have to get LaVine all in. I think so too. I mean, at this point, I really do. We can't be much worse. like seriously, how much worse can we be than we've been thus far? Right. So you might as well just push chips to the table, go get Zach LaVine, right? Get an Andre Drummond. And also maybe you can get because I just don't think they're going to trade Alex Caruso. So if you can't get an Alex Caruso, maybe you can get why am I blanking on his name? I'm blanking on his name. The other wing guy, 3-and-D wing guy. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Somebody help me with that real quick. What is his name? I had his Torrey Craig. There we go. It popped into my head. Torrey Craig, and you can get a Andre Drummond. That could be pretty nice if you could get something like that. Get you some continued depth. Give you some veteran guys. Give you some just stability there. But they do. They got to get something done. They got it. Seriously. But Andrew, coming out to $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. They need to make a trade on January 15th. No waiting. Problem is very rarely do trades like that happen because they probably won't even start negotiating till then. And Zach LaVine's out with injury. So I imagine the Lakers are going to want to see him play a game or two maybe If not, they're going to at least, when he gets back, they're going to have him go through physicals and stuff like that, both with Chicago and the Lakers. So I wouldn't expect it on the 15th. It would be nice. I'm not saying it won't happen. It always is a possibility, but more likely than not, if the trade happens, it'll probably be a couple days after that. And I'm hoping it's not like, several days after that, but my guess is somewhere, between the 15th and the 20th is when we'll see that trade, if that trade even goes down. But, anyway, nonetheless, I'm with you, Andrew. I really am. But, all right, let's dive into the regular chat and power through as many as I can. Obviously, like I said, super chats take priority, but wow, yeah, I feel it. This is like a bad nightmare that we can't wake up from. Right now it is. Right now it's been just a mess, man. Like the effort by the Lakers. I like how D'Lo started to cook and get back in the groove. Yeah, and that's my hope. My hope is that that carries over and continues for the Celtics game, because we lose to the Celtics, we're at 500. That's not where we thought we'd be a week and a half ago. I'm proud of my Lakers for at least being a little competitive in this one. I agree. I mentioned that earlier too. Not being blown out without LeBron. Now let's get this one over OKC. Oh yeah, we play OKC first, huh? That's right. I'm completely skipping a game. Probably because Lakers have been a little rough, but nonetheless, yeah, I completely forgot about the OKC game. But man, we really needed LeBron today. His 26 points or something would have helped. Agreed. Do you think LeBron's injury is serious? Because they said it was something with his ankle. I mean, I don't know. I mean, even the announcer said that it was like, hopefully it's just precaution. I'm sure it is just precaution. I mean, he had that foot injury last season, right? So hopefully that's nothing that carries over into this. Better safe than sorry. I still think if this was I think we can weather the storm. Like if LeBron has to miss a couple games, I don't imagine LeBron sits out for the Christmas game though. Maybe he sits out for OKC, which would suck, but I don't see him missing out or sitting out for the Celtics game. I just don't. I could be wrong, but I just personally don't see it. However, I knew this was coming as soon as LeBron was ruled out and AD was in. We lose by 9, and we say to ourselves, we would have won it if LeBron played. Yeah, it's usually how it goes, right? Darvin, man, I don't know. I usually don't hop on this train, but I'm getting there. Also, usually don't hop on the D'Lo train, but also getting on that one. Yeah, Lakers got to do something. They got to figure something out. They do. They really do. Andrew, coming in off the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. LaVine play style is built to thrive playing with someone like LeBron and AD. He is an incredible fit. One of the best catch and shoot 3-pointers in the league. Yes, I'm right there with you. Also, just his ability to cut and be a constant threat with LeBron just making passes, right? You can't sag off of him, so you got to press him. And he has just the speed to just get by everybody. I mean, I really think, look, I don't expect it immediately. Obviously, it's going to take a couple games to kind of get in the flow, get in the rhythm of just adjusting, especially playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis and all that stuff. But, a couple games in, maybe call it a handful of games, maybe 10 games tops, right? I really think you're going to start seeing, and I really think people are going to be like, okay, Zach LaVine was the right choice. I really do. I think he fits a lot of what we need. Just constant rim pressure, a guy that can just create contact, get to the foul line, right? Guy that can shoot off the dribble, shoot over the top, which the Lakers desperately need, play off the ball, knock down the three. He's a guy that when LeBron's sitting and resting, right, you can just give him the basketball and he can go to work. I mean, those times where Darvin Ham rests LeBron and AD, right? Usually that's a disaster. I actually think we could weather those minutes if he was to do something like that with Zach LaVine out there, because he can just go get buckets. He's just a guy that can just go put the ball in the hoop, right? Like all of these things, I think he just impacts the game so heavily. Like genuinely, I really do think he's like, I know people are weary, but I think once you see the product on the court, I think people will come around to it. Um, but time will tell. Time will tell. Anyway, again, Andrew, really appreciate that. Let's see, where were we? Disappointed, but at least I'm moving into my new house today. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, LeBron. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. What sort of trade value does D'Lo even have at this point? There's always guys always have trade value. He's still an expiring contract, even if he opts in. Like it's more salary. D'Lo's probably going to be more looked at as salary filler. Also, if he's given like point guard duties, he could like. I actually think he would do well with Chicago, especially in like if he's just given here's the ball, just go play point guard, right? Take pressure off of DeMar and guys like that. I could see it. Or they just end up keeping him and he opts out and goes elsewhere. You know, if they bring him off the bench or whatever. But there's always trade. I mean, people swore people swore the Lakers weren't going to be able to trade Russell Westbrook last year, and guess what? There's always trade value. He's not on some like crazy long-term deal. No trade really are coming. The Lakers has to focus what they have now. I mean, yeah, at least for another like month. You're right. Yeah. Need that trade. Yeah. Problem is we got to get through this stretch here, right? Can we even beat the Pistons at this point? I don't know. I mean, we did, but yeah, we're looking rough right now. I don't know the next time we will win. That's the real question, right? So the month of January, like to start the season, January will be a lot better for the Lakers because they won't have as much road travel. They have like a majority of their games at home. They've been very good at home. They have a couple like easy games, you know, with this Lakers team. Who knows if that's really easy? But they do have winnable games in January and a couple stretches of winnable games, and then also the them just being at home should help. You won't have as much travel, so they'll be able to rest better, get better night's sleep, all that stuff. They've had a lot of mileage the last, for first 2 months of the season. So hopefully we'll see. Let's see. We are not going anywhere with him. He sat Rui, who played very well in the fourth for Hayes. Yeah, I mean, got to get guys some rest, right? I just took it down. Let me see, because how much did Rui play? You know, where's that? Here it is. Like I said, you got to get guys some rest. I mean, Rui played 33 minutes. How many more minutes is he supposed to play? You know, how do we turn this around? I mean, a lot of it would be turned around if Lakers showed up with some energy, showed up with some effort, showed up with just determination to win the game. A lot of it is just lack of effort, right? I mean, how many times do we watch the Lakers and they're just like out there all lackadaisical, not really putting in the extra effort, not chasing down loose balls, giving up, not boxing out, doing the little things. Like a lot of that would fix a lot. But the Lakers got to get a score, right? Like I said, if you could get Zach LaVine, Torrey Craig, and Andre Drummond, that would solve again like 80% at that point of your issues. The other is just like effort. Like, do guys show up? Do guys play? Can guys lock down? But at that point, like you'd have some new fresh faces that come in that weren't going through. Like it's just like the trade last year, right? It was like, oh, how can a trade fix this? It's like, don't underestimate fresh faces. Don't underestimate fresh players who are coming in. Yeah, I don't mean fresh in the sense of like they haven't played. I mean fresh in the sense of like they weren't part of like the locker room issues. They weren't part of the struggle with the Lakers. They weren't like they're excited to be here. They feel like they're in a different environment. They got to change the scenery, especially Zach LaVine. Like Zach LaVine has had his struggles this year, but now it's like, okay, well, I'm in a place that I want to be. I'm on a team that actually has a chance to win. I mean, should have a chance to win with Zach LaVine. Like it just tides change. And the guys that are on the team are like, oh man, we got a Zach LaVine who can go get buckets. Like a lot can change based on just adding a few pieces, you know? But I mean, time will tell. We'll see. We will see. If the Bulls demand Reaves for LaVine, we have to pull the trigger. We need to learn from the THT potential trade. LaVine is completely different level. But the problem is, like, one, I don't think that they'll trade Austin Reaves. And two, I wouldn't trade because you're doing Chicago a favor. Like, you're doing Chicago a huge favor. At that point, you're almost better off just waiting, right? Or if wait for Donovan Mitchell to become available at some point and see if maybe he can do that. Like, look, I'm not against trading Reaves if it's the right deal, but I just think like if you keep like so say you trade for Zach LaVine, you keep D'Lo, unless you could pull off another trade. Like if you, the only thing I can think of is like, let's say, just throwing this out here, not saying it will happen, not saying it can't happen, anything. But Indiana is a sinking ship, and they are sinking fast, right? If you could do something like to where you knew you could go get Miles Turner, right, and do like D'Lo and I don't know D'Lo and Gabe Vincent with a first, and go get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, and then trade Reaves for Zach LaVine, I wouldn't hate something like that. Just because, like, at that point, like, it's like, all right, like, now you basically have everything you need to win a championship at that point. You got Miles Turner and Anthony Davis. You got the best front court in the league. You got all defensive wings. You got Buddy Hield, who can be a guy that can just light it up. You're basically 10 deep for the next 4 seasons because you're going to re-sign Buddy Hield because you have his bird rights. You got Zach LaVine launcher. Like, you got enough depth. You got enough talent. You got enough everything to kind of ride this wave. But like, if there's nothing else on the horizon and it's just like you're trading for Zach LaVine, I just think you're doing a huge favor. Like, you're doing a huge solid for Chicago. Chicago has to play. I mean, even a lot of like Chicago, like news reporters and insiders and stuff have said like Zach LaVine is probably never going to play another game for Chicago. Even if it takes him a while to find a trade, he's probably not playing for Chicago. So like if they are as like desperate to move off of Zach LaVine as it is, then I just think like you're at that point, you're at a point of leverage, right? Don't sell the farm. I just personally don't see them trading Reaves unless it's for a superstar. Andrew coming out with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I trade Reaves, Rui with no first. They moved D'Lo and a first to Brooklyn for Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, I still don't like the idea of trading Reaves. Like, and again, like I'm not one of those people that think like Reaves is like this super duper star that you can't trade. Like, I don't think Reaves is untouchable. Like, I definitely think he's movable for the right price. But I just think like, you know, I love the idea of getting Dorian Finney-Smith. I love the idea of getting Zach LaVine. I would rather like if you know some other moves are coming, or at that point, just like you're almost better off just being patient, right? Because like what does Chicago do if they don't trade Zach LaVine? Like, are they really going to bring him back and play him, or are they just going to pay him to sit all season? Like, it just, especially if Chicago's like in the mix of things, like I just don't see them coming back. I think you're almost better off just waiting if you're the Lakers. Because I just think you could get a better turn for Reaves. Because I think that there are other teams that like if Reaves became available, might give you something. Even if it's not like a direct player, would give you assets to maybe go get a Donovan Mitchell or something, right? Like let's say Donovan Mitchell, even if it's not this year, let's say it's this offseason. If like right now, I don't think the Lakers could trade for him. But like if they want, say, like 4 firsts, right? And the Lakers, depending on what the Pelicans do, Lakers all of a sudden have 2 first-round picks available, and they can flip Reaves into like 2 firsts or like a first and like a quality player, which some people might say, what team is going to give you 2 firsts for Reaves? You'd be very surprised, very surprised for a guy like him. Like, and then you add that to like your mix of things. Like, I just think you could get a better return. I mean, I could be wrong. You never know unless it actually comes up. But I don't like the idea of trading Reaves for LaVine. Again, I've made the argument for it. Like I've made videos arguing both sides, like trading D'Lo and trading Reaves for Zach LaVine. If you could get Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Andre Drummond, I may be more willing to trade Austin Reaves just because like you get Alex Caruso who can kind of fill a lot of that. And I think that if you get a DeMar DeRozan, a lot of Austin Reaves' game kind of gets neutralized. But like, or if you could get Alex Caruso, like if they were like, okay, like if they were like, we'll give us Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, Rui, and Reaves, and we'll give you Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, and Torrey Craig, and you don't have to give up a first. I may consider that just because, like, I think at that point you have basically everything you need. Something like that. I'm just trying to think of like what would make sense for me for that. Because at least like I said, then Zach LaVine kind of lessens the blow for what Austin Reaves provides. And so now you got Alex Caruso, who's a better defensive guy, and he's shooting the three ball ridiculously. And now you got him, and has good trade value that you could then use to flip if you needed to later on down the road or whatever. And then you got your backup center. You got another veteran 3-and-D style wing that can play the 2, 3, 4. You have the same amount of depth. You have the same. You're basically just upgrading in certain areas, right? So I just think that would be more suiting. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate it, Andrew. Oh shoot, where were we? Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian DFS is Dorian Finney-Smith. That's who it is. All right, let me power through a couple more questions. I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes and then skate on out of here. Because like I said, I don't want to feeling a lot better, but I don't want to push it. I know people might yell at me out of frustration for this comment, but I believe in the Lakers because I am a fan of them until the day I'm dead. Like I get that. Like, look, Lakers are a sinking ship, but I wouldn't bet on them to win anything. Like I wouldn't bet on them to make it out of the first round right now, right? Like, the way the Lakers are playing right now, they're terrible. But they get into the playoffs. Yeah, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, assuming they're healthy, I'll take my chances, right? The only team that's been able to beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis together is the Denver Nuggets, right? Like the year that Phoenix beat them, you got to remember they were up 2-1, looked like they were going to go up 3-1, and AD got hurt. And even in the Denver series, LeBron James and Anthony Davis both weren't healthy. So it's kind of one of those things like I'm going to believe in them and trust that they can get it done until proven otherwise. But I wouldn't like bet on it. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, like let me throw 100 on the Lakers to win the chip. Like I wouldn't do that right now. Why would LeBron sit this game like Kobe and Jordan will never? And LeBron is my favorite player. I mean, one, he's also 39. You got to keep that in mind. Like when did Jordan and Kobe, play like this at age 39? That's one thing you got to keep in mind. And in year 21. Secondly, if he is dealing with an injury, right? Like I get games are important, especially right now, especially with as tight as the Western Conference is. But like last thing you want to do is play LeBron, and now he's hurt. Now your playoff hopes are gone. Like you still got a long season left. The NBA championship hangover seems to be having a real effect on Lakers. That's kind of like my thought, like right? Like I don't think that that's the full reason, but like I just think it's weird that like you have like the Pacers who only won one game, I think they've only won one game since, and same thing with the Lakers. Like, I don't know. Is that just coincidence or is that like there's something to it there? It's great to lose with effort and pride. Last year we were pitful, and this year we are a bit tight. Yeah, like I said, I mean, like I said it when I started the stream. Like I appreciate the effort from the Lakers. Like I genuinely do. I'm glad that they like didn't just get ran through like they could have. But yeah, still need to rattle off these wins. This team is trash right now. I'm with you. Easy money. How do you like the lineup of Caruso, LaVine, Prince, Braun, and AD? That would be really good. 3-point shooting team. Caruso has been deadly from three this season. Yeah, I think that sounds like a championship level team to me, if I'm being honest, right? You got point of attack defender and guard and Caruso. You got a legit scoring threat in LaVine. You got 3-and-D shooting and Prince, especially the way he's been shooting. And then you got LeBron and AD. That sounds like one of the better starting fives in the league. That lineup would be great. I don't want LaVine, but at this point, just try anything. I give D'Lo up for a bag of chips. I'm sick and tired. I feel it. Look, I get the concerns with Zach LaVine, but he's necessary right now. He really is. He's necessary. And we still know Boston finna destroy the Lakers. I hope not. I hope that that's like a game where like it's Christmas Day. LeBron has like one of his Christmas Day games, but time will tell. Also, Tyler, you sound way better. Hoping you are 100% by the time Boston plays. That's kind of my hope. I'm hoping that like that's why I don't want to like go like an hour or anything. I don't want to push it. I want to kind of keep it around like 30, 35 minutes, which I'm at 30 minutes because like I'm feeling much better. Voice is coming back. Like feeling good. I'm not as tight in the chest as I was. I'm not coughing as much as I was. So I don't want to like push it because I'm hoping give it a couple days and we'll be good to go for that Christmas Day game. We can do the post game stream. Lakers need a backup big big time. More than LaVine. Every time AD sits, everything goes sideways. Reaves and Rui could only do so much, but there isn't enough. That's why I think you got to get a Andre Drummond or something like that in the deal. Clippers keep winning and Lakers keep losing. Life is not good right now. I feel that. Although Clippers did lose today, but yeah, I feel that. Rui and Vanderbilt aren't 100% true. True. All right. Here we go. We got another super chat, and then I think this will be the last question. Unless I get another super chat, I'm probably gonna end it here with Andrew because, like I said, I don't want to overdo it. We're already at 33 minutes. Andrew, coming in hot to find another super chat. Thank you so much. It's a crazy thought that LaVine could take us from a play-in spot to a title favorite with Boston and Denver. The difference in the outcome based on one trade is wild. Yeah, I mean, because like especially when you're talking about the NBA, like more than any sport, one guy can change a lot, right? And like Zach LaVine isn't even like a superstar or anything like that. I mean, he's a really good player, don't get me wrong. But like if he fits the way that like theoretically he should, then yeah, the Lakers would be really good. Because you're talking about a guy that'll give you consistently 20 plus a night on and just apply so much pressure. If you just play him one-on-one, he's gonna torch you. The amount of looks and quality, like Zach LaVine is a guy that can go give you 20 to 25 on a nightly basis, like where he's like the main guy. Imagine what he could do next to LeBron and AD. Right? And for those that are like, oh, yeah, but will he get the shot attempts? Of course he will. Right? Because you're going to trade, like I said, it's going to cost 3 guys to go get that. D'Lo by himself is getting almost as many attempts as Zach LaVine is this year. I actually think Zach LaVine will get more attempts than he is with Chicago because I think that he's going to get a lot of playing time when LeBron's resting, which means he's going to get the opportunity to go just score the basketball and be a bucket. And then when LeBron's on the court, he's going to defer to him like he does with Reaves. Like that's why I have the concern that Austin Reaves kind of becomes neutralized if we get Zach LaVine, which is like a real concern of mine. But he's been so good, like Zach LaVine, like, and his ability and the way that he can impact. I just think that he really can change a lot for this team, like genuinely. Again, I don't think he solves everything, but I think he solves a lot. Andrew, coming out to $2 super chat, the complete transformation. He completely transforms the team all in. Yeah, I mean, because it just gives you that constant threat. Gives you a guy that can constantly just apply pressure at the rim, can constantly just go get buckets without having to be set up, right? He doesn't like even AD, right? Like he's not a guy that can just bring the ball up and just beat everyone down the court and go get a bucket. Like LaVine is, right? Like LaVine would be. Imagine LaVine and LeBron out in transition. Good luck, right? Like you have LeBron and you get a turnover. Cam Reddish gets a turnover, and then you got LeBron and Zach LaVine out there just pushing the pace. Like, how do you stop that? Both of them are like insane lob threats. Both of them can finish through contact. Both of them can shoot over the top, right? Like Zach LaVine would help improve our 3-point shooting. Zach LaVine would help improve our scoring output. Gives you a guy like you can always keep one of them on the court, right? So like you can like when LeBron's getting rest, you have Zach LaVine who you could go to and be like, "Hey, LaVine, I need you to like LeBron's gonna sit for 3 minutes. I need you to go get me 10 points." And he's like, "All right." Like we don't have anybody that can do that. Like not consistently, not that like you would trust to do that. Like Reaves again, like Reaves can go get you 20, but he has to work so hard for it, right? Like it's not he can't just like beat guys off the dribble or just shoot over the top and elevate over guys. Like he's shooting a lot of wide open things, which I still think Reaves can go give you 12 to 15 a night, just because I think he's going to get more wide open looks. So if his 3 ball starts falling, he's going to knock down probably 3 threes a game, and then he's still going to have opportunities to create. You know, he's still a high IQ player. He can still play alongside LaVine off the bench. He can still play alongside LeBron. I do. I think you're looking at a team that could – LaVine by himself solves a lot. But anyway, I'm going to skate on out of here because, like I said, I don't want to push it too much. I am feeling much better, which I appreciate everyone's compliments or comments and stuff like that about that. But we got a lot of basketball left, so I want to make sure that I'm that I'm fresh, especially for that Christmas game. But I like the Lakers' effort. I'm glad that they won. Like I said earlier, on a bright note, Yamamoto signed with the Dodgers, so at least the Dodgers should be amazing this year. But outside of that, again, I appreciate you. Thank you, Andrew, for all the Super Chat stuff. I really do appreciate that. And everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next game. Have a good night. Be safe, and see you soon.